something.
I'm sorry.
Time for another episode of the PHDJ podcast. My man, using his words, Joe Bunn from North Carolina.
Yes, sir.
And all the way out from Jersey, he's got more reviews, I'm going to say it, than anyone else on the Wedding Wire and the Knot. It's Mike Walter.
I don't know that for a fact. Wedding Wire won't give me the answer to that question. But I do know there's one other entity that has more, but they don't have a 5.0 average. So
Okay.
I always say I believe we have the most with a 5.0 average, but who cares?
We're going to say that.
That's what matters.
As a guy who claims to be the best DJ in Utah, all you have to do, Mike, is just say it, and then people will be like, yeah, he's got more reviews than anybody else.
You are. If you look at your URL, you have the website best DJ in Utah, and if it's on the internet, it's got to be true, right? So
Gotta be true.
Right.
Yeah.
You open yourself up for people coming after you, but if you can handle that, go for it.
Haters gonna hate.
So if you're wondering who opened the show today, that's our friend Richie Steadman, the official, unofficial producer of the show. The
listeners know who Richie is by this point.
He's the unpaid Baba Booey. If you will, if you're a stern listener, you would get that. Wouldn't that be his? Don't you think that would be who he was if he was?
Yeah, I mean, he's pretty much produced the show. He gives us enough ideas and enough content. So yeah,
yeah. Anyway,
and to that point,
Baba Booey books the guests, so that would
true.
Then he'd really be a producer.
You guys celebrate five years with the last episode.
Yep.
And I just want to let you know, Mike, that I've actually listened to more episodes than Joe has. So
that's facts.
You probably have. Most people have. My mom has listened to more episodes than Joe has, so that's not saying a lot. Yeah.
Oh man, that's funny.
So we're gonna take the journey. Just answering.
We're gonna record 2 episodes today. Next week, Joe will text me, "Are we recording this week?" And I'm like, "No, Joe. Remember last week we did 2 episodes? Like that happens all the time. We'll do 2 shows, which means we have next week off. And then next week, Joe will go, "Are we recording this week?" No, Joe. It was just a week ago that we did 2 episodes. Anyway.
Okay, that's true too.
He's got a lot going on. He's got a lot of balls in the air.
I'm sorry.
It's another
few years.
As Mike would call a potpourri episode, where they're going to talk about a bunch of different things, answer some various questions, things that have been on my mind. And I know the mind of other folks, but I'm going to make you guys get deep, and I'm going to make you get personal with the first question out. And the first question goes to Joe. Joe, what does Mike do better than anyone else in the industry?
Wow, that is a great question. I think Mike gives better seminars than anybody in the industry. Live seminars at a DJ conference better than anybody in the industry. Period. Hands down. No matter what the topic, no matter how long they ask him to speak, I've never seen somebody in the DJ space. Now, I've seen plenty of people speak at different conferences. Usually they do, 200 events a year speaking. Mike does maybe 3 or 4. He has to, because all the conferences don't seem to get along, has to come up with something damn near original every time. Sometimes he'll replicate it twice in a year, max. But for somebody that has to come up with an original hour-plus seminar live, I've never seen somebody put more time into it, prepping, rehearsing. He could probably do it without his confidence monitor. Like, I've never seen somebody as good at a live DJ seminar than Mike Walter. Period. Facts. Don't even try and come at me. I don't even want to hear if somebody in the comments puts somebody else, I'm going to just ruin you. I'm going to ruin your day. Anyway, that's my answer. It was an easy one.
So then for you, Mike, what does Joe do worse? What is the thing that Joe sucks at? No, I'm teasing.
Richie, don't make me do
Jesus that. Christ. I'm going to spit my drink out.
I had my best answer. I'm
going to spit my drink out.
That's not, I know.
No,
funny, Richie? It's great that you're asking this question. I'll let the listeners in on a little. Joe and I had a little disagreement last week. Nothing major. When you work together with somebody for 5 years, you're going to have disagreements. It's not a big deal. We kissed and made up already. It's not. But the fact that you are giving us this, and I'm not answering worse, I'm answering best. But the fact that you're giving us this opportunity, I think it's fitting and perfect, because sometimes when you do do have a disagreement with somebody, I think you have to go back to, hey, wait a minute, let's forget about the bullshit. What's the strong points here? And I thank you, Joe, for what you just said. And I don't care what you're asking, Richie. I'm going to answer best. Joe's a brilliant marketer, probably the best marketer of anyone I know in the DJ industry, or maybe even outside anywhere. And not only has he marketed his company brilliantly, but his personal brand. I mean, I've known Joe now for 15 years. I've gotten to know Joe better and better through the years as we worked on the workshop together and then this podcast. And I have seen him go from somebody who was barely known in the industry, the DJ industry, to perhaps the most famous or one of the most famous, way past me. Like when we started out, it was me here and Joe here. And now like Joe looks down at me and goes, "Hey, Mike, how you doing down there?" Like that's how much he has marketed himself and created such a brand name for himself. And I can only sit back as his friend and business partner and admire it, because it's truly admirable how he's done it. And P.S., there's been no shortcuts. It's all freaking hustle. It's not like Joe snapped his finger one day and said, "I'm going to do this." It was all hustle.
Thanks, man.
And risk taking. And that's something that a lot of people won't do. Joe's taken a good number of risks through the years that have paid off.
Appreciate that, Mike.
So the next question goes for the two of you. Maybe combined we can do this. What at a wedding, let's define this in a wedding, what does a DJ do and what shouldn't a DJ do?
At the event, like once it starts?
At the event. Once the event starts, because they're anecdotally I'll hear from like the hosts of venues, it'll be like, yeah, normally the DJ just, stands and plays the music. He would never help us get the people in line or, all that. What should a DJ do at a wedding, and what should be someone else's job?
Man, that is a great question. I think, regardless of all the gear and the scheduling and everything else that's obvious, I think going above and beyond should be what a DJ does. You know what I mean? If you have the ability to grab the bride and groom their favorite drink while you're lining them up, or at least get somebody that works there that you're, comfortable asking, "Hey, grab me a vodka tonic and a beer," blah, blah, blah. Like, I think helping tie on chair covers. I think helping, I've started carrying those long lighters now, helping light candles. Like, I think anything above and beyond should be part of your job. In other words, I think you should get there super early, which I know Mike and I both advocate for ourselves and for our DJs. Not panicking the venue coordinator or the maitre d' or whatever you call that person, the venue owner. That doesn't take that long to set up unless something is terribly wrong with a computer or a piece of gear. And then taking that time instead of sitting there on TikTok on your phone and trying to help other people, I think that's part of your job, even though it's not your job. What shouldn't you do? And I'll say this 1,000,000 times over. I don't give a shit what Dave Lander or anybody else says. If you walk in and your first question is, "What are we eating tonight?" you will never be asked back to that place again. I don't care if you've been there.
Why did you say Dave Lander? He would never ask that question.
I thought Dave Lander or somebody went against us when we went into the Whole Food episode, and he wasn't that Lander?
Well, he might want to eat, but that's not the first. I'm
okay,
sure
well,
he doesn't ask the first question when he shows.
He would never do that because he's a professional. But I don't have any concept of eating when I go to an event. Period. I don't need to eat. I've eaten previously in the day. I can stop at McDonald's on the way home. I'm just saying, what a DJ should not do is walk into a venue and ask that, because I promise you that it is noted. Every time I go to a venue, I get a story about, "You won't believe this guy that was here last week came down from the mountains because he was friends of the bride, and here's what he did." And that's top of the list. Do it all you want, but I'm telling you, you ain't never going to play there again. Listen to your buddy Joe. Mike?
So I agree with everything Joe said about the dues. I would also add to that, because in our business model, the DJ is also the MC. So,
there we go.
Making the announcements and everything else. But I just got myself involved in a Facebook debate. Nick Spinelli put up a post saying, does any Does anyone ever walk away from a DJ set thinking, I wish that DJ had talked on the mic more, asking for a friend? And I get the point of the post, but I said, well, yeah, because we've actually gotten complaints through the years that our DJ wasn't interactive enough. In other words, didn't say enough, didn't. So what I would say as far as what they shouldn't do is steal the spotlight. Mm-hmm. And I think that's what a great DJ and MC does. A great DJ and MC knows how to be involved with the crowd to get the ball going and the party started. And sometimes that's the first song you drop, and sometimes it's 3 hours into the night before the party. But a great MC knows how to do that, but not make it all about them and not steal the spotlight.
Ride the line. Yeah.
Right. So I would say riding the line, finding that balance between, hey, I'm interactive, I'm a presence here, but it's still all about the bride and groom.
So a question for both of you guys about the above and beyond. I had never considered bringing the lighter to help light the sparklers. Certainly helped, change the room over, because then people can come in and the party can get going, quicker, stuff like that. What other things are the above and beyond? You mentioned drinks, you mentioned lighter. What else?
I mean, I would even take it. So, I mean, this just piggybacks off the lighter thing. So I was at a friend's house over Christmas, and she was lighting candles, and I was like, yo, what is that thing? And it was almost like a taser. So it had two little prongs on the end, and it was rechargeable. So it wasn't the flame like you always hear those wedding planners click, 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 click. They can't get them. Their thumbs blown out. This thing basically shot electricity between two little prongs, and you held. So you know what I did? I ordered 50 of them and sent them to every wedding planner in this area. And I said, I'm about to change your life. I sent one. I sent a 2-pack. So they were $14.99. I sent a 2-pack of the top 30 wedding planners, and I wrote a handwritten card. I was like, I'm getting ready to change your life with this item. These are rechargeable, and just click the button or something like that. Happy New Year. So 30 times 15, $400. Plus postage. We stuck them in a padded envelope. I wrote the card in probably 30 seconds, and me and Randy sent them out. So just above and beyond besides the gig, right? Dude, people have been blowing me up for a week about it. I mean, they've never seen this thing. It's basically an electric lighter. It doesn't have butane. It doesn't have a flame. It is basically like a mini taser, and it lights candles like a boss. I'll send you the link. I see Mike writing that down.
Yeah, I wrote it down too. Did you brand? Did you brand it?
I didn't. No, I didn't. I'm sure they are out there. I've got several friends in the promo business. You could probably send them the link from Amazon and say, look, do you have this with Elite Entertainment on it? Even better idea. I was just like so excited about it. I literally was sitting at the table that night, and I was like, where did you get those? Amazon 2-pack, $15. Done. Like, let me grab 30. Anyway, so that's just above and beyond like what I consider just standard marketing or standard customer service or standard being a good person, standard procedure at the event. Just little things like that add up. Mike being at those wedding shows as the owner this weekend adds up. Oh, you're the owner? Oh, damn. It's the playoffs. Mike's like, no, I'm here. Like, this is what I do. Me going to the NACE meeting, not sending one of my guys. This is what we do above and beyond.
What about you, Mike?
I would say for me, the above and beyond comes with in the month before meeting with my clients.
Yeah.
Where I am not just extracting information from them, but offering them suggestions, which a lot of my clients need. A lot of my clients say to me, grooms are like, yeah, I want to dance with my mom. I don't know what idea. So I will ask some questions. Well, does your mom have a favorite artist? Do you have a favorite artist? Do you have a favorite genre? Let's see if we can find a song. I make edits for my couples when need be. Those types of things to me are going above and beyond for my client. In that run up, when I look at my Wedding Wire reviews, a lot of my clients, especially my personal clients, mention how helpful I was in the planning process. Not just that I threw a great party, which I pride myself on rocking dance floors, but in the run up to the party, I helped them with suggestions. I guided them when need be. I assured them when need be. I gave them confidence that their decisions were good. And I think that's going above and beyond. I think there are a number of DJs. Yeah, I think there are a number
Steered
of
them when they handed. Yeah, sorry.
You know, I'm here to get your information in it.
Yeah.
No, I'm also here to help you. I'm not just a yes man.
Right. If they handed you a list that you knew wasn't going to go over and said this is the dance list, you would also tell them.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
So now to a question that'll make people mad. What's a hack thing that DJs do that you just wish would stop? DJ does this and it's so hack. Please stop it.
Make some noise.
Do people do that?
Sometimes, and I'm just like, what? Are you kidding me? Make some noise. I would also say it's hack to not use the couple's names. I think I hear so many DJs, and sometimes on my own staff, and believe me, that will get you a very unhappy phone call from Mike Walter. If I look at raw footage of you and I only hear the bride and groom's name twice during the night, you're going to get an angry phone call from the owner of the company. So my own DJs are not immune to it, but I think that's a hack thing. Let's hear it for the bride and groom, and now the bride's going to dance with her dad, and the groom's going to dance with his mom, and let's hear it for your bride and groom. Come on, bride and groom, bride and groom. Learn their freaking names. Just learn their names. That's a hack thing to do.
I couldn't agree more. I don't by any means say you have to have a $2,500 piece of furniture, but just the way a hack thing to do is to show up and not care about how you look. That you're going to be, I mean, look at all these pictures. I'm in the background of half these pictures up here, or one of my guys. You know, you don't have to have this picture right behind me, all what I have, but make sure that whatever you are going to put up there in the front of the whole room looks good. You know what I mean? Whether it's, if you're set up on a 6-foot banquet table, make it look good. You know what I mean?
Talk about and so good if you're on YouTube right now. I got my dog.
We got a beautiful dog, Mike, in trying to get on the mic, basically.
Yeah. Sorry.
But anyway, so that's a hack thing to do, is to not look good. And again, just personal appearance, grooming, suit, you know, if you don't wear a tie, whatever, like just do better, man. I mean, that is my motto this year. Do better, look better, play better, respond better, like do better.
All right, Joe, this question is for you first.
Okay.
I want you to tell me about your biggest failure within your business. The thing that you look back and I'm also, so you know, going to ask the follow-up of what you learned so that either that never happens again or so that you learn from it. What's a failure? Give us a story about how it happened, what it was, and then what you took away from it so that it was a learning experience.
I think, man, I think my biggest failure was losing some people in that first decade, like Mike said, that I thought and that were superstars, earners, great DJs, great MCs, because I was not a good boss. You know what I mean? I didn't, and it wasn't always, you know, when people left, which is very rare, knock on wood, and has been rare for many years, it was not always, it was rarely a money thing. Sometimes people left because they just wanted too much and I just couldn't work with those margins. But sometimes people left and I later kind of found out that it was the way that I managed people, you know, that I wasn't listening to their concerns, or I didn't give them enough attention or space to shine, or something in my management style had to change, you know, that I didn't say please or thank you. I mean, just some of it was super simple. It wasn't about being too, you know, much of a dictator or authoritarian. It just was about not caring enough, you know, or getting so busy in my own world and life and personal things that I wasn't paying attention to the staff. And so I lost some people, you know, that went on to keep DJing. They're at other companies now. And that was upsetting to me, you know, and I later changed a lot of the ways that I managed people. I tried to you know, to as Mike advocates, have meetings more often, like face to face when the world was normal, or cookouts and go-karts and things, rent out a movie theater and go see the new James Bond film. Like, I tried to make it more of a family over the last 10, 15 years, and it's really tremendously helped.
All right, Mike, question to you.
Yes, Joe and I have a very similar history that way. I was not a great manager early on, and when I started losing some talent, some really good talent, I said to myself, well, Mike, you got to change your ways. You got to get better, because I was really good at finding talent. I was really good at training DJs, but I was basically becoming the farm system for the local DJ community. I'd train them, I'd find them, train them, and then they'd go work for somebody else or go out on their own. And I took ownership of that. I said, it's because you're not a good manager. But as far as mistake goes, early on, if you had great talent, I overlooked everything else. I didn't care if you were trustworthy. I didn't care if you were a good person. I didn't care if I could believe a word you said. I looked at, oh my God, I could book that guy. I could book the shit out of that guy. He's a future superstar. And that's the mistake I made. And I will, and that's what the biggest, besides me changing my management style and becoming a better people person to my staff, I also no longer promote and train somebody that I can't trust. If I can't trust you with my house keys, then why would I train you to become a DJ? Like, if I just don't believe that you're a good person deep down inside, well, you're going to screw me over. So why am I going to spend time training you?
Great one.
Now, Joe queued up this last question, but do better is what Joe is thinking about doing in 2022. What's one thing you're going to do this year? Maybe attend a thing, maybe change a thing, maybe, adopt a thing, whatever that thing may be. But what are you going to do this year that either you haven't done before or haven't mastered before, but is a goal for 2022?
Max out. Not max out, just hit the highest price that I've ever charged before, which will therefore reduce the number of shows that I personally do. So, hit that $5,000 mark. That basically covers your event. Not get into all the, I'm there this many hours, this, that, and it's basically ceremony to exit. Joe Bunn, $5,000, and I will bring it all and do it all, and it's going to be a great party, trust me, kind of thing. And as somebody that in very recent history, would high five when we got $9.95. I mean, dare I say that was probably 6-7 years ago, which to me is very recent history. And now to consistently get $5,000, normally without even a meeting or a phone call anymore. Like, Randy is booking me at $4,000 and $5,000 on the phone, just off strictly reputation. And damn it, man, I feel like I've earned that, and I'm super grateful. I don't want to do more than 40 shows a year. I won't do more than 40 shows a year. I got too many other things going on, and that's a sweet spot for me to really focus, have fun, not be burnt out, and I'm really proud of that. So to me, I guess the do better is just to get the maximum price point and I don't want to say the minimum number of shows, but the sweet spot of shows.
All right, Mike, take it home.
So, I mean, my personal goal, which I guess is also a professional goal, Kelly and I have 7 years left on our mortgage, and I believe I'll be able to pay it off this year. Last year, as crazy as it was work-wise, I also socked a ton of money away. I've already paid off my office mortgage, and
so cool.
and I think by it's January 19th right now. By the end of this year, and quite possibly by the fall, I'll be able to just write a check and pay off our mortgage.
That's baller status.
That I'm 55 going on 56, and to be able to have 2 mortgages paid off, an office and a house would be pretty important to me, just psychologically, just for me to go, yeah, this is where I'm at in life. This is what I've achieved personally and professionally would be really important to me. So I'm going to, as I said earlier, I'm going to make less this year than I made last year, because I am going to have some quality time for myself and a little bit more time for Kelly, because she barely saw me last year. But I'm also going to do enough work and make enough money that's going to be, it'll happen. It'll happen in 2022.
So baller, man. Props to you. Congratulations. Yeah.
Thanks.
Very nice. Dude, this was like such a great let me pat myself on the back for a minute. But I called Richie with 9 hours notice, and Richie absolutely freaking killed this, over delivered.
Great questions. Really great.
Seriously, man. We appreciate you. Like, man, you always reach out to me and check on me, and I appreciate you as a friend. I hope you're really going to Vegas. Are you really going to Vegas? Or did you just tell me that?
No, I'm driving down.
Dude, I can't wait to see you in person, man. Give you a hug, and we're gonna go get a steak or something.
And speaking of that, I get a text almost every Thursday from Richie, congratulating us on a good episode or complimenting the episode, and it means a lot, Richie. Really, good. Sometimes Richie messages me that before I've even promoted the episode. So he must. I guess you get a notification with what. By the way, what platform do you listen on?
I just Google Podcasts.
Okay. Interesting. Okay.
So you don't you don't prefer Spotify or Apple Podcasts or SoundCloud? You don't care. Whatever comes up.
No, I'm an Android guy. I'm one of the rare Android guys, and I right up on my Google Podcast.
Yep, Google Podcast. Yeah. Okay.
So thank you, Richie. You really have been a huge supporter of this podcast, and I can honestly say one of the reasons why 5 years in we're still going. Without your support and suggestions, I've always said Joe and I are going to stop doing this when we run out of ideas, and you are one of the people who helps make sure that we don't run out of ideas. So I don't know whether it's just selfishly because you want to hear us every week, but we appreciate it. We really do.
5 more years. 5 more years. 5 more years.
I don't know about that, but
man,
we make at this point. It's like when you're done with your lease. We're month to month at this point.
That's funny. Oh man. Well, this has been great. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Oh shit, Richie's gonna be mad, but we don't have a teaser for next week. But we've got some great ideas. We're kicking around. Look at him; he's disgusted with us.
Oh no, we got things. We've got stuff we're gonna talk about.
Stuff.
Don't do that. Don't do that to me.
Okay. I got it. Here's the teaser. So. Here's your teaser for the next episode. We are going to discuss North Carolina wedding timelines versus Central New Jersey? Northern New Jersey timelines.
New Jersey, doesn't matter. There's really, other than South Jersey.
We're going to discuss Southern redneck weddings.
Area, I think. Yeah.
Okay, we're going to discuss Southern redneck wedding timelines versus upscale New Jersey timelines on the next episode of the PHDJ podcast.
Prove why our timeline is better than anybody else's timeline.
Oh, Jesus! Wow!
Yeah.
Wow! That's going to be a hell of an episode. Now we just have to remember that we said this in 2 weeks. Okay. Richie, remind us that this is the episode next. All right.
Well, one of us will have gone back and listened to this, so that will happen. Unlike yourself.
Oh man! Actually, thank you guys.
Two
people will listen.
Will have actually listened when these drop.
I'll remind you.
This was fun, man. We got to do it again. Thank you guys. Thank you, Richie, Mike, everybody for listening. We appreciate y'all.
Ciao.